If you want to grab our new natural diuretic supplement and get that lean face for summer, then click the link in the bio. Okay guys, welcome back to another video. Sorry about the lighting. I hope the focus is good. The lighting looks a bit shit. It's just bouncing off the top of my head at the moment. But I've not filmed it this time of day before, so hopefully it looks okay, guys. But it's more about the content. I don't really care. You know, we'll fix the lighting moving forward. It's going to be a podcast room anyway. I'm going to move in the room next door anyway, so we'll figure it all out. But this is the return of a very popular topic, which was the other side of male life, which you guys loved. And if any new members of the community, because I did release that when I had like 40,000 subscribers, so if anybody's new and hasn't watched it, please go and watch it, because I think I'm like the only person in the world talking about this sort of stuff. I'm not the only person thinking about it. I'm not the only person living it by far, but I'm definitely one of the only people who's like turned it into like a cultural component of male life, okay? And anybody who doesn't know what the other side of male life was, I was basically saying, and this is the true toxic masculinity, you know, like, here's the thing, when it comes to like, it's difficult to talk about these topics, but I'm going to do it anyway. The, like, black violence, a lot of people say black on black violence is the most predominant version of it, okay? When it comes to women saying, oh, but there's so many pressures on us, it's other women bitching about women. When it comes to men, it's other men creating a disgusting culture that's fucking a lot of our lives up, okay? Usually the problem is inside, and it's usually internal. And when I look at men in, especially the UK, because obviously I live here, but places like, I'm trying to get rid of this shine on my head. It's absolutely ridiculous. Places like Australia, places like the UK, places like America, there's a massive, massive drinking culture. Massive drinking culture. And most men, you know, oh, I'm a real man, that sort of thing. This is toxic, in my opinion. It's not because, oh, it's toxic because you're making me depressed and I want to cry and I like, fuck all that noise. That's just ridiculous. But what I'm talking about is how we've made it normal for a guy to get to a Saturday, get drunk in the morning because it's a Saturday, eat whatever food he wants, go and sit in a sports bar, watch sports all day, just, you know, and everyone's going, oh, he's a top man, he's a proper boy, he's a lad culture, yeah, get drunk, fuck women, any hole's a goal. It's like, it's never resonated with me, and I used to do it. I was like 18, 19, I used to do that shit. Still didn't resonate with me. I always wanted to be more cultured, and it wasn't until I traveled around like Europe, okay? And I'm talking about like Spain. Never been to Italy. I wish I will soon. I want to save Italy though. But I traveled around like places like Amsterdam, Barcelona, Paris, you know, just all these different places. And to see the level of man was a little bit daunting. It was like, fuck, I'm not really anywhere in life. I'm not really doing anything. I'm going out getting drunk thinking I'm the boy. And you got these French guys that are just like in shape, handsome, well-dressed, you know, cultured. They're sat there having a fucking latte with a straight 10 model, you know, and they're doing that French guy thing where they just look sophisticated and they've got the legs crossed and, you know, not saying to smoke, but they've got the cigarette in the hand and they just look like a boss. And you're like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck am I doing with my life? It just made me realize there's so much more fun to be had than sitting in a pub and just getting drunk and just thinking you're enjoying life and being the loudest guy and like singing some football chants. Like, just didn't really do it for me. And that's what the other side of male life is really about. And one person who's a massive proponent of this, who I want to get on my podcast, good shout actually, I only just thought that, is David Gandy, the British male model. I've watched countless videos of his and read articles in GQ where he is talking about how he goes to, like, he travels around the world, he's a famous model. He bumps into, like, Italians, French people from Scandinavian countries, and they're always like, British guys are just disgusting. Like, what is wrong with them? Like, why are they all fat, bold, angry? Why are they all hooligans? Why are they so obsessed with sports? Why do they just drink every single day? Why do they dress in, like, polo shirts and shorts and England tops? Like, why don't they actually take pride in themselves and whatever? And it's just our culture, you know, and the Australians follow us quite a lot for that as well. I guess they follow us. Where your drinking culture is massive, absolutely massive. And being like a fat guy that says cunt all the time and just, you know, just doesn't give a shit about life and just pretends that, oh, fucking skincare, what's the matter with you? You know, that sort of thing. We've got that in the UK too. Like you have a skincare regime and it's like, what, you a pussy? You gay? I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I think it's fantastic for a man to have a skincare regime, to take care of himself, to spend like £2,000-3,000 on clothes if he's got that kind of money, you know, and really make himself look good. And, you know, not drink alcohol because he's conscious of what he looks like and he's conscious of staying on top of his game and being at his best. I love all that shit. Like, a guy who goes, I just want to go out for a coffee and maybe a glass of wine and some nice food with friends and then come home. Whoa, what's the matter with you? You soft? Come out for some beers. It's like, I don't fucking want to. And this is why I spoke about the other side of male life, because I said, once you get to a certain point in life and you make a decent amount of money, your life opens up. It opens up and the possibilities are endless. And before, when I made part one, it was just noise, guys. It was brilliant noise, in my opinion, but it was just noise. I was just telling you guys. You know, one picture I've got in my head right now is that place in Hudson Yard in New York with the amazing gym. And I was like, you could be up here swimming in the morning. You know, you're in shape, you're a cultured guy, you've got a date after that and you're going for food and whatever. And you've got a penthouse apartment in New York. And I was just visualizing this sort of stuff. But I'm in a situation now where I'm in a penthouse. Okay, I'm in very good shape. I've got nice clothes now. I did just spend $1,200 on clothes. Going to do a fashion haul very soon. You know, life's very good. And I want to tell you about like my plans, for example. And this is like the other side of male life. When everyone else is going out getting drunk and just like going clubbing and just pretty much wasting time. Some things that I want to do in this place, okay? This room here, I'm going to have a podcast table. I think I'm going to be able to sit down with a language teacher. Okay, so I've contacted a Spanish teacher and I've said, look, I'm not bad at Spanish. I'm probably 10% of the way there, 15% of the way there. I've got some basic knowledge. My dad lived there for 8 years. I've picked up a little bit and I studied it for like 6 months. Okay, I want a language teacher to come in and I want to do a Spanish lesson at least once or twice per week for an hour. I'm going to make that part of my routine. I've contacted a yoga teacher and I've said, hey, look, summer's coming up. I've got a rooftop terraced garden out there. It's got AstroTurf. We can put some mats down on the patio bit. Would you come up on like, I don't know, Sunday morning and we do a yoga class where I stretch, deep breathing, meditation. I could find a teacher that does that too. There's a skincare clinic in this building. One floor. I can get there in 30 seconds. Okay. I contacted them and was like, let's set up a meeting. I want to know what I should be doing and what I can change, okay? I also thought I can get like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu coach, maybe like a boxing coach. I think jiu-jitsu would be nice because I've got no experience in that. Put some mats out there and we can roll around. Do you know what I mean? I can have my jiu-jitsu coach teaching me once or twice a week. This is the other side of male life. And do you know who that reminds me of? That reminds me of Ocean's 12. I keep remembering his missus' name for some reason. Vincent Cassette. Remember I did the male advantage on Vincent Cassette? Perhaps the most cultured man in the world at that time period, at that moment in time. He was the boy. He was the alpha male out of everybody. He was top notch in every area. And in that film, he was like meditating. He was doing capoeira. He was the well-dressed guy with the nice house and whatever. And he was doing kind of shit like that. Probably knew like 2-3 languages. I can't even remember from the film. But it reminds me of that kind of lifestyle. And that's the other side of male life. Like while guys are out on the street down here, just there's like bars around here. While they're out getting drunk, thinking, oh yeah, this like just brain dead. Oh, I'm a young man. What should I do? I should go and grab a Carlin and a Foster's and a Stella. And I down my pint. It's like there's so much more to be done. Like save that money, get on a plane, go somewhere, learn something, figure out a new culture, hire a language teacher, learn a new language. Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, no, you choked. Do you know what I mean? Just like, do something with your life. Stop doing what everybody else before you has done. Just go out, get drunk, meet a woman that I don't really like, but is pussy, and he holds a goal. Fuck her, yeah, that was great. Oh, she let me do anal, mate. Hey. Like, what the fuck is going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's British culture. Just throw on a polo shirt, have your belly hanging out the bottom, go and grab some beers, and pretend you're living life. Truth be told, all of these people are depressed as fuck. Okay? There's no extension plan to their life. You know, it just goes as far as go out and get drunk, fuck women, go to work. There's no extension plan. It's like, what's the next thing? What do you want to do next? What are you striving for? Why are you not cultured? Like, go and visit some museums. Go and travel the world. Go and look at some architecture. Which is what brings me on to the most important part of this video, okay, guys? And it's my dad, okay? I always find it difficult talking about my dad, but I think I'll be okay in this video. And for those of you who don't know, my dad died about a year ago today of cancer. And my dad was a tough guy. Obviously, you could probably work that out. He was a proper alpha male based on like who I am and what I promote and whatever. And, you know, he was always just like, he would always fight, he would always drink, he was always like at the gym playing football, he like never backed down from anything, proper old school man. But he was never allowed to be who he wanted to be. And I didn't realise this until we went to watch Man City versus Barcelona in Barcelona. He loved it. He loved the place anyway. He'd visited multiple times before. In our hometown, he used to go out, spend £200 per weekend, okay? We came back from Barcelona and I remember saying to him, I was like, it's... Because he did there was 2 games actually. The first one we went to, we came back. I said to him, "You're spending £200 per month, £800 per month. Sorry, £200 per week on nights out in a hometown is pointless." I was like, "If you stayed in, Dad, and saved £800 every single month, because he's making a lot of money, he had his own business. I was like, you could put £800 per month into a holiday. You could go out somewhere like Barcelona. It's only like £50 for a flight there and back. The accommodation, the food, whatever. I was like, you speak the language not badly." Because he had a prior understanding of it. It wasn't amazing. He became fluent once he moved out there. I was like, imagine your life. You could travel to all these beautiful places. And he really thought about it. And he was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to try it for 1 month. Went out to Barcelona. Had the time of his life, okay? After a few months, I remember he said to me, he was like, I'm gonna move out there. I'm going to buy a bar, which is kind of counterintuitive. But he was like, I know it well. I know bars well. He was like, so I can make money from that. So he bought a bar and he moved out there, became, you know, just a different man overnight. And the next time Man City played Barcelona, I was out there with him. And we bumped into a lot of the old lads that we used to go drinking with, all the football hooligans and whatever. And they all came to... we all obviously went out drinking, had a bit of fun, went to the stadium and whatnot. And me and Dad, because we'd lost the game, Barcelona were amazing then. They still had Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, all the top players, Neymar. So we said, we were losing and it was like 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go. And we were like, fuck it, let's get out of here before it all becomes like a mad rush. So we got out and we found a tapas bar, okay? Very Spanish, beautiful women working there, very cultured place. Some nice, like almost like I've done out there, like lighting and whatnot. It was very nice. And we were speaking a little bit of Spanish. I was learning a bit by then, and my dad was getting good at it. And we were just having like some tapas, and they said, "Do you want some alcohol?" And we were like, "Well, no, just have some waters. We're not really interested." And we realised in that moment, I was like, "We've changed. We've changed massively." And it was peaceful. It was nice. I was having a great conversation with my dad. I loved it. I'd never been able to do that before. And all of a sudden, all the Manchester City kind of fans started rolling past, and just shouting and screaming, and they were just abrupt, and it's just all these fat guys, you know, in polo shirts and Man City shirts. And I looked at Dad and I was like, and he said the words to me. I think he said something like, "Fair play, they're awful, aren't they?" And he used to live that culture. He was a football hooligan. Like, that's what he used to do. Well, not like a day job, but he used to do that. And he said to me, he was like, "I don't want it anymore. I'm too old." He was like, "Look at them. They're all out of shape. They all look old. They all look terrible." I was like, "Dad, I couldn't agree more. I love it." I was like, "I don't want this anymore." So we booked an extra 3 days because all the Man City fans went home. And then we had Barcelona in its full glory with all the locals and the culture and whatever. And we had 3 days just, you know, enjoying what Barcelona actually had to offer. And it was so nice. And over the next 8 years, I saw my dad go from a 6'3", massive, bald-headed lunatic football hooligan, strongest, most aggressive guy you'll ever meet, to being one of the most relaxed, calm, chilled, cultured men you'll ever find. He was going to museums. He was looking at the Gaudi buildings and admiring the architecture. I was like, this is a man that used to punch people in the face and snap their head back. Do you know what I mean? And he's now looking up at architecture, the Gaudi buildings, and he's knowledgeable. He's going, oh, do you know the blah, blah, and he's like speaking about them. And then speaking 2 different languages. And then saying, oh, I've got this beautiful restaurant. They do this certain like, he had a knowledge of the culinary side of culture. I was like, my dad's the fucking man. I loved it. Like everyone wants their dad to be a tough guy and whatever. I had that growing up. It was fantastic. But seeing the other side of him, just like this tough guy who was also cultured, he had it in him, but he was never allowed to express it because of the area we grew up in. And people would have called him gay or soft or weak or, do you know what I mean? And he finally was able to embrace who he actually was. And I was in love with that idea. And obviously he's dead now, right? Which is a massive shame because I feel as though he was finally living the life he wanted to. He was going to spas. He was getting passes for spas. He was going to the spa, going to the gym. He had a morning routine. He was drinking like coffee in the morning on the beach. Like, it was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like playing dominoes with the locals. And I just kind of embodied that. I made a promise to myself. Like I loved all that already, but I made a promise to myself. I was going to live the way that he was living in the last 8 years of his life. Like the way that he adapted and who he became. I wasn't going to go down that beer drinking route and being a typical British guy. I was going to transform and I was going to make the best of myself. And, you know, I admire men like Juan Betancourt in the Tom Ford advert. I admire men like David Gandhi. I admire men like Tom Ford, you know, who have lived a different type of life that people would call soft or whatever. I like those sort of guys. I like Olivier Rousteing. Like, it sounds weird coming from a tough guy like myself, right? But Olivier Rousteing, the gay guy who hangs around with the Kardashians, has had facial surgery to get his cheeks sucked in like that, and runs Balmain. Do you know what I mean? Like, it sounds strange, a man like me being like, that's one of my heroes, but I love men like that. I just think they're so different. They're willing to express themselves. They're willing to do something different than the norm of just go to the pub, get married, have a couple kids, kick off with the missus, get divorced, complain about everything. Like, there's so much more to life. There's so much better things out there, the other side of male life. And that's just 2 things I wanted to share with you guys. Number 1, the possibilities. Number 2, my dad only getting a short window to be the man that he really was. Okay? Like when he was young, he loved art. He used to draw all the time and he was very good at it. He's very good at architecture, but he got into building. He made decent money. You know, he started his own businesses, concrete business, replacing petrol pumps. He made very good money off that in the early days until Tesco came in and wiped it all out. But I felt like he was pushed down a route he didn't actually want to do. I feel like my dad he was a traveller. He wanted to travel the world. He loved it. He loved travelling the world. He loved Spanish culture. He was in love with it. And it just feels like he really lived his life, okay? Like he really lived it to the fullest, had some great holidays and stuff like that. But I feel like he didn't live the life he wanted. And I want to emit that message to you guys tonight. You know, it's a Thursday night tonight. You've got the weekend ahead of you. I'm sure a lot of you have got big plans. I'm sure a lot of you want to go out and get drunk, fuck women and whatnot. I just want to let you guys know there's another side of male life. If you just sit there with a notepad and a pen and just think, what do I actually want, okay? Go on social media, go on Pinterest, Instagram, whatever, and go and look at pictures of guys who are living this kind of lifestyle. It's addictive, it's nice, it's men's fashion, it's skincare, it's culture, it's learning different languages. Like I said, I'm going to have a Spanish teacher in here. I'll do a video which is day in the life, okay? And it won't quite be day in the life. It's going to be a hyperbole version of day in the life because I want it to be good. There's no point making it boring, okay? But I'm going to have a Spanish teacher, and then I'm going to have a jiu-jitsu teacher. I'm going to be at the gym. I'll probably pop into the gym spa as well. I'll have, I might even hire a chef and have the chef cook for me in here, put a nice 6-seater table out there, 8-seater table, and have loads of friends around. And the chef cooks and brings it out, and we get to try, let's spin a wheel. What dish do you want to try? Who's ever eaten Sri Lankan kind of dishes? There's a place local. We could get one of them to come along, Something like that. Like, let's just find food, Ethiopian food. I heard it's amazing. Like, let's try it. Do you know what I mean? Let's live a little, guys. So, oh, let's order a pizza. Let's order a Domino's. It's just such basic shit. Ethiopian culture. I heard it was amazing, the food. I want to try it. Okay, let's find somebody who does it. Do you know what I mean, guys? That's the life I want to live. I want to try new stuff. I saw Logan Paul. Logan Paul talk about he wants to be the world's greatest entertainer. He wants to be like The Rock. He wants to be the world's greatest entertainer. I want to be the world's most interesting man. There used to be a beer commercial. It might have been Modelo or something like that. They used to talk about the world's most interesting man. And it was this like old guy with a beard. It's really cool. I want to be that guy. I want people to be like, that has got to be the most cultured man that has ever lived. He knows everything about everything. He speaks 6 languages. He's traveled to every single country on the planet. His life is fucking tremendous. He's got coaches and trainers for everything. You know, he's got 4 language teachers. He's got somebody teaching him jiu-jitsu on a Monday morning, followed by a yoga teacher. And then he sits down with a guru and goes through like the meaning of life. Like all this shit. I just want to try stuff. I want to go and visit the Tibetan monks. I just want to go around the world and just find shit that I didn't know about. I want to find something new. I'm fed up of the norm. I don't like that shit of go to the pub, get drunk, same beer. Oh, is it your usual? Is it you don't fucking want to hear that? You know, or you call up your local Chinese and they're like, I remember you. I nearly did a Chinese accent. How racist would that have been? I remember you. This is your order. You have this, this, and this, don't you? Yeah, that's right. You know, and people who go to a club and the bouncer's like, oh, I remember you. It's okay if you live in the area, do you know what I mean? If it's a great club, but when you just get to know the bouncers because you're doing the same thing, or you go to the same pub and the barman knows you and knows your kid, like, come on, let's travel a little, let's live a little, let's meet different people, let's speak different languages. The other side of male life, guys, there's so much more. And I'm going to, in honor of my dad, I'm going to reveal that to you guys over the next couple years, okay? If you want to grab our new natural diuretic supplement and get that lean face for summer, then click the link in the bio.